And we're off and running. Good. What's up, everybody? It's Hump Day. How are you? Wednesday afternoon, December 27th, 2017. Holy shit. The year's almost over, man. 2017 has been fucking awesome for me. How's it been for you? Thanks for joining in. It's 4:20 p.m. This is the 420 report with your good friend, the mighty jer-dog, Jeremy Danley. So while the audience joins in, what's up? Jim Danger Kopic, Missy Carson, Maureen. Good to have y'all. Hit the share button and the like button. Wait, I'm going the wrong order here. I'm going to whip myself up a vodka cranberry before I start talking shit on a Facebook Live video, revealing some of the stupidest crap that I did over the year. You know, that's my year in review as a comedian. What are the stupid things that I did? Where are my biggest fuck-ups throughout the year? Why is that so valuable to me as a comedian? Because that's what makes the best comedy material for other people to laugh at. Because we all fuck up in some way, shape, or form. Everybody can relate to that. And then turn it into have, something funny. You have a sense of humor about it. That's fucking gold when you're a professional stand-up comedian. So thanks for joining in. I'm going to go over the show dates here real quick while I whip up my vodka cranberry. This isn't even really cranberry juice. This is called To the Power of 7. It's an organic juice blend that my wife picks up at Trader Joe's. It's a blend of organic pomegranate, tart cherry, black mulberry, red grape, purple carrot, cranberry, and blueberry juice. So, it's good to be healthy while you're getting drunk, I always say. Katrina Brown, good to see you, girlfriend. Why did I say that? It's fucking weird. Anyway, I just talk shit, stirring this up with my finger. Did a lot of stupid shit over 2017. One of the biggest mistakes that I made, though, going into the year was New Year's Eve last year. I introduced a new jer-dog merchandise item. It's a pair of boy short panties for the girls to wear. It says "Think Outside the Box" on the front. And I got a lot of positive feedback for those. I should go up and grab a pair just to show you guys what I'm talking about. I kept a pair, just for myself, not only for posterior sake, but also because they're pretty fucking comfortable. But that was a big mistake, man. I sold these. They looked really cool too. It was like boy shorts, underwear for the girls. So, I always have women coming up to me at the merchandise table, and they're like, "You should have something for the ladies. You should have something for the ladies." And I'm just not sure what in my act ties in to merchandise items for the ladies, something that they would buy. I don't know the female mind well enough to know what they would fucking spend their money on when they're drunk in a bar, unless it's a t-shirt for their boyfriend or a guy's t-shirt that they just like for themselves, like the one that I sell. It says, "I'm out of weed again." Fucking winner. That one's a fucking winner right there. But I was like, okay, fine, I'll get something for the ladies. So I order up these black and pink. They're two different colors, so you can choose whichever style most fits you, whatever you like the best. You pink girl, you black girl. Doesn't matter what color you like the best. Pick and choose whichever one you want, whatever size you want. It's all there. It said "Think Outside the Box" on the front of the fucking panties. I thought it was clever. I thought it was funny. I got tons of positive feedback on it. A lot of you on Facebook like, "I'd buy a pair of those." I take them to my New Year's Eve gig last year where I was doing the He Said, She Said comedy show with Katrina Brown up in Marshfield, Wisconsin. They sold like fucking hotcakes. I had to immediately order up a whole bunch of new ones, and then it took me 6 months to get rid of those. Most of them I had to fucking give away. So I lost my ass, so to speak, trying to sell panties last year. Big fucking mistake. And that's a lesson learned right there. A lesson in and of itself. What people say they'll buy is very rarely what they'll ever actually fucking buy. If you're going to order up a t-shirt or a merchandise item to sell after shows, never fucking ask people whether they like it or not. Never go, "Oh, is this a good idea? Is this a good idea?" Just fucking put it out there, sell that shit in some small quantities, and then just keep going from there, but just order small quantities at a time, because these fucking bar audiences are so goddamn fickle, you never know what they're going to buy. So from now on, I'm just sticking with the weed t-shirts, people. John Donovan, that's an oak cocktail. How do you mean? Because it's super fucking strong or because it's healthy and keep you skinny? Katrina Brown, lost your ass on panties. Thank you, dear. I knew you'd like that one. Actually, I didn't know that at all. I'm just talking shit off the top of my head. What else did I do that was really stupid last year? Well, number one, I forgot to promote my upcoming shows right here on this video, which is what I should be doing, which is what this is all about. I'm really excited to be working with the world famous Uncle Larry Reeb, this Friday night in Altura, Minnesota at Pooters Sports Bar and Grill. Last time I worked with Uncle Larry many years ago in Peoria, Illinois, it was a theater. I was really super nervous about working with him, not only because it was one of the first times I'd ever worked with a guy who I grew up watching, you know. I remember seeing this cat on A&E's Evening at the Improv, a Rodney Dangerfield special. Back in the day, Rodney Dangerfield was one of my favorite comedians, so he would do these HBO up-and-coming comedian specials, and I'd sneak out of my bedroom late at night and check that shit out. So I've always been excited whenever I've got the chance to work with Uncle Larry Reeb. He's one of the headliners on the Grassroots Comedy Tour that I bring live comedy to several different bars across the Midwest on a monthly basis. And this Friday night, Altura, Minnesota, at Pooters Sports Bar and Grill, I get it open for him. So it's going to be a lot of fucking fun, and we're going to blow the roof off the place. So if you're in that area, it's just north of Winona, Minnesota. You might want to get out there and get your tickets soon because they'll probably be sold out. Probably. Not sure just yet. I still have to hear back from the people at the venue where they exactly are on ticket sales, but I guarantee you this is going to be a good goddamn show. So get your tickets now for that one. And then I go to Palmyra, Nebraska, long-ass drive on Saturday for a show this December 30th, this Saturday night, Palmyra Pub. That's a small little club there that I'm just going to use as a good warm-up set. You know, I'm going to bring my A game for sure, but I'm bringing a lot of new material because I want to definitely kick ass for New Year's Eve this Sunday night when I'm doing the Dirty Jokes and Magic Trick Show with Nathan Tricky Allen in Balaton, Minnesota at the community center there, sponsored by Kirkpatrick's Pub and Grill. So get your tickets for that one too, because it's going to be fucking off the hook. Get your tickets wherever you're at. Nebraska, if you're on the southeast side of Minnesota, if you're on the southwest side of Minnesota, get it, whatever the fucking tickets are that are appropriate for you this weekend. And if you're not in any of those areas, just keep tuning in and checking out my live video blogs that I do every afternoon, 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. Today I was almost late while I was running upstairs getting my vodka cranberry shit ready to go. So cheers. Thank you guys for joining me on a Hump Day Happy Hour. This edition, kind of a year in review. You know, I started writing down the stuff that happened to me over the year. And I actually had a lot of fucking cool shit. A lot of cool shit happened to me over 2017. This really was an awesome fucking year. It really was. I mean, number one, this is kind of ties into one of the dumbest things I did this year, though, was I waited to fucking launch this 420 report, to do these live video blogs every day at 4:20 p.m. You know, I had this idea last year. It was last February, actually. A guy at a show said, man, I watch your live video, Facebook videos from the road when you should do something like that every day. Every day you should do a live video. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. What would I do? What would I talk about? Turns out, as a fucking stand-up comedian, the material is endless. You know, when I have the creative pressure on to come up with something every single day at 4:20 to talk about, it's not always polished, as you can tell, but that's when the best stuff comes out, when I'm just getting drunk and riffing to a fucking laptop camera with an audience. You know, give me some questions, give me some comments, and that helps me generate even more material. So I started these video blogs on a daily basis, kind of as a goof, really, kind of just as a joke to see what would happen. Last June, I think it was, and I had the idea for it like last January, February, and I got encouraged by a few other people to do it, but I fucking waited on that shit. I should have started way back when I first had the idea. I just didn't know how it would work or what it would look like, or, you know, I didn't want the pressure to have to obligate myself to doing something every single day at the exact same time. But I'll tell you this, it's one of the smartest fucking things I did this year, because putting that kind of pressure on me every single day has been a huge motivator in coming up with material. It's been a great way to promote shows in a fun way, and I love it. I love the interaction. I look forward to this every goddamn time I'm doing it, man. This is like one of the most fun parts of my day that I look forward to, hanging out with you fuckers on a Facebook Live video, checking in. And it gives me an excuse to get drunk in the middle of the day on a Wednesday. Oh, hey, cheers. Here's to you. Cheers. Happy hump day. Any questions or comments so far? Day peace. Get it, sir. Yeah, you bet, dude. John Donovan, Florida. You know, I would love to come to Florida. If you know of any good venues that we could squeeze in 100 to 200 people that will bring in the mighty jer-dog, let's make it happen, man. Just send me some info on that place. I've been trying to contact a few places down there, and the problem with doing shows in Florida, or really anywhere when I'm traveling across the country, is you got to get the routing to work, you know? It's like this weekend, I'm going from fucking southeast Minnesota to the middle of Nebraska. That's just a dumbass drive. Why am I putting 8 hours between gigs? That's just going to wear me out. You know, so what I like to do when I'm doing these long distance cross country trips is just put gig after gig after gig after gig, night after night after night. So that way the drive is cut shorter each day. But anyway, welcome to the unfunny side of comedy, right? Here's something stupid that I did over the year, and this is a big confession of mine to make, is just getting fucking too drunk at shows. All right? You know, I admit it. I love to have a cocktail or two. I love to do shots with the crowd. I love me some Blue Moons. You know, it's a good way to get all revved up and charged up and in that right comedy frame of mind where you can cut loose and be unstifled, yet creative at the same time. But there's still that wall. There's still that fucking wall that as soon as like one shot too many, it's like, bam, I'll hit it. And then everything from there just fucking goes south. And it doesn't really happen that much these days. It used to happen a lot. You know, quite frankly, it used to happen a lot when I first went on the road doing stand-up and I was all fucking dumb and young and full of calm, getting up there charged up, ready to go, people sending me up shot after shot. You know, just because somebody gives you a drink doesn't mean you have to drink the motherfucker. Lesson learned on that when I did a show at this really nice summer resort, Dan and Mel's Lodge up in Wisconsin last August. They just sent me up one too many White Russians, one, and then a tequila shot, and then some other weird fucking purple drink. Just because somebody hands you a drink doesn't mean you have to drink the fucker, all right? Lesson that I've been learning every year for the past 25 years, apparently. Hopefully that shit'll take effect. Hopefully I'll actually learn my lesson and going into 2018, not drink so goddamn much of the show, just enough to get in that right frame of mind, get unstifled, yet creative at the same time, you know? It's a good warm-up for a show. I think I like drinking. Of course, I like having a few fucking drinks at a show, but I'm always the guy that's like, oh, jer-dog's here, Jaeger bombs, and then they bring me up the garbage can Jaeger bomb. Like I got to do the triple or quadruple shot while everybody else just has their little regular size shots. But whatever, you know, such is the price when you're shit talker alcoholics for a living. Here's to you. But I do want to give some shout outs this year as well. Number one, to a guy named Phil Cooper. I don't know if you're watching or not right now, Phil. I can't tell. The list of people joining in is just going up too fast, and I get more and more viewers every week. And that's a lot of fun. And it's very much appreciated. And thank you guys. And if you wouldn't mind, just hit the share button for me, hit the follow button for me. So that way you can be notified every time I go live, which sometimes I do on the weekends without promoting it ahead of time. It's just something spontaneous that I do if I'm at the venue that has good Wi-Fi and something exciting's going on. You can get a look at what it's really like to be a traveling comedian on the road 100 nights a year, performing at nightclubs, taverns, neighborhood bars all across the country. A lot of people think that stuff's interesting. A lot of people don't, you know, and go either way. Sometimes this shit's just bullshit. You're just sitting in the car driving 8 hours fucking straight, not looking at anything but cornfields. Other times, fucking shit hits the fan. Shit gets crazy. And if that happens, I hit the live button. You'll be glad you hit the follow button right now, right here. You know, send me some likes, send me some love, whatever it is you want to do. But Phil Cooper, if you're watching, hit me up with a like button just to check in, because you're the one that gave me this idea back last February when I had brought the He Said, She Said comedy show to a venue in Woodstock, Illinois, where they just so happened to have also filmed one of my favorite movies, Groundhog Day, with Bill Murray. And here's what I said, dude, I've been watching your Facebook Live videos from the weekend coming up to this. I've been so excited, blah, blah, blah. You should do a Facebook Live video every day. And it was an intriguing idea. That Phil Cooper, he's the one that actually gave me the initial idea, the initial encouragement to fucking do a Facebook Live video every single day. And it just took me a few months to sort of figure out how I would do it, how I would generate the content and the material to keep it interesting. Do I even have the fucking ambition to commit to doing something at the same time every day? Well, there's something else that I used to commit to doing at 4:20 p.m. every fucking day. So why not, instead of that, just commit to talking shit into a laptop camera at 4:20 p.m. every single day, and in the meantime generate material for the shows, generate a fan base, do promotion for upcoming shows, and just have a good fucking time doing it, checking in with my friends, fans, and followers. Hell yeah, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and I want to see you back here again in 2018 as I continue doing these Facebook Live video blogs at 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. There he is, Phil Cooper, the man. Hey, that's grinding. Awesome to hear you're glad doing this. Thank you, buddy. Well, I got to give you the shout out for this because you're the one that originally gave me the idea, and I'm glad I took you up on it. I really am. This is probably one of the best things that I've done in 2017. Definitely one of the most fun things. One of the most fun things that I've done in 2017. And I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Steve Cypress, another guy. I don't know, he's probably not watching right now because this is a very, very busy dude. One of my entrepreneur mentors back when I lived in Chicago. And I was part of a monthly meeting that he would host of all the locals, not all, but a lot of local Chicago entrepreneurs would get together, and we would just sort of exchange ideas. Steve Cypress, he was a coach. He would usually have some sort of a business lesson, some sort of a marketing lesson, something that would help me generate new gigs. And I implemented a lot of those ideas back then to great fucking results, okay? Because that's something you got to do when you're a professional comic. If you're a professional entertainer of any kind, you got to know promotion. You got to be a shameless fucking self-promoter, okay? Just giving you a little inside information, and maybe I'm spoiling some of the magic for some of you out there, you know, but if you know anything about me, you know I'm a shameless fucking self-promoter. That's one of the most fascinating parts about show business to me, is the psychology behind putting asses in seats. And then once you got asses in seats, you show them a great fucking time. You know, as much fun as it is for me to just wrap into a laptop video camera right now and engage with you guys, it's way more fucking fun to actually do this when everybody's in person. We're all actually sharing drinks together. You got the energy of a live atmosphere just going up and up and up and up, and everybody's having more and more and more and more fun. To me, that right there in and of itself is an addiction that I'll probably never get over. It started when I was 19 years old in 1994, just doing stand-up comedy and fucking karaoke bars as a goof for my friends. And here it is. I'm 42 years old now, 23 years later, and I'm just fucking doing this shit again as a goof for my friends, but it's a great fucking life. And in order to maintain that great life, you gotta have the promotion skills behind it. You got to get the gigs, right? So this cat, Steve Cypress, an entrepreneur coach, and I highly recommend anybody who's a local, I know I got a lot of bar owners and managers that watch these videos. I highly recommend checking out, just hit a Google search for Steve Cypress Marketing Coach, and I guarantee you, he will do you right. So big shout out to Steve Cypress. If you're watching this, if you ever do watch these things, just want to let you know that I appreciate all the help back in the day. And he also does a Facebook Live video pretty much every single day. Every single day, that dude does a Facebook Live video. And that also gave me a lot of inspiration and insight to do these things, which, like I said, has been one of the smartest moves I made in 2017. So, hey, good to see you guys. Thanks, Phil Cooper. Got to go, but thanks for joining in, man. I'm glad you're able to join in so I could give you that shout out and you could hear it in person live right here, right now. Who else do I want to thank? Katrina Brown was on here earlier. Definitely a big shout out to Katrina Brown, my co-star in the He Said, She Said comedy show. For the longest time, I did shows with lots of other comedians. You know, I put together, it's one of my favorite things to do is find another performer that I have good chemistry with and then create a show that we can do together based around a common theme. That will then also be something that's easy to promote and sell and attract an audience. And a couple times that I worked with Katrina back in the day when we first started, like I think we met in 2013, I think it was, at a show way up in fucking North Dakota. It was a blizzard going on. Neither one of us really wanted to drive up to fucking North Dakota just to do one show on a Tuesday night for shit money. But I'm a man of my word. Katrina's a man of her word. And we made the fucking jaunt all the way up there. I don't know if it was Dickinson or Grand Forks. Anyways, way the fuck up in North Dakota. Like Katrina says, Frosty's butthole. And we did the show together. And I think it was a crazy thing. She even put on Facebook afterwards that we discovered once we were working together this year. She put the He Said, She Said comedy show and then attached a selfie that we took afterwards. So that was kind of like a weird premonition because I'd completely forgotten about it. And she'd completely forgotten about taking that selfie and then captioning it like that. And then we worked together a few other times. And I put her out on the road doing the grassroots comedy tour at some other bars that I promote comedy shows at. And they're like, dude, she's like the female version of you. I'm like, well, I got to get together with her and let's do a show together. You know, and then I saw her a few other times. You know, we did put together a couple of shows where we were going to work together. And I noticed that she did a lot of relationship material just from obviously the opposite perspective, from the female perspective. Like, bam, right there. What a fucking no-brainer, because that's exactly what I do. We both put our own spin and edge on it. So it's the He Said, She Said comedy show, the comedy battle of the sexes. One of the best fucking things I did going into 2017 because it put me into two situations. Number one, I have to work with a fucking comedian that kicks ass and challenges me every single time. So I got to bring my A. It gives me an opportunity to always make sure that I'm bringing my A game. You know, just like this coming up Friday, when I'm working with Uncle Larry Reeb, I got to bring my fucking A game. This has to be a kick-ass show from start to fucking finish. When I open up for Katrina doing the He Said, She Said comedy show, it's more like a co-headline spot where we each do an hour for 45 minutes to an hour, you know, depending on how much the crowd is into it. And then we get together afterwards and we do a Q&A session where the audience just writes down any questions or comments they have. They send them our way. We'll get anywhere from like, you know, maybe half a dozen to just nonstop. Just the people just keep them coming. And as long as they keep them coming and people are engaged and having a good time, we'll stand up there on stage together making up material on the fly. One of the best fucking things I did in 2017 was create that show with her, put myself in a situation where every time we got to generate new material, and it better fucking be good too, because I'm working with a kick-ass headliner. You know, it's like if you want to improve your golf game, you don't fucking play golf with people shittier than you. You play golf with people better than you. Not that I know. I don't fucking play golf, but it's the same thing when you do stand-up comedy. You want to work with killers. You want to work with people that challenge you. I know a lot of headliners that like to bring along a feature act or an opening act that's kind of tank or just be sort of mediocre. So that way when the headliner gets up there, it's obvious who the headliner should be. That's not how I like to do it. I like to bring along people to work with that are fucking killers, people that get up there and challenge me. I don't want to be the big man on the totem pole. I want to be the low man on the totem pole and then work my way up because it toughens you up and makes you a better performer. So Katrina Brown, shout out to you if you're still watching the Facebook Live video. If not, you know, maybe you'll see this some other time. And even if you don't, you know, I'll fucking say this shit to you when we're in person. So, but big shout out to you, Katrina Brown. Along those lines as well, Nathan Tricky Allen. This fucking cat, he forces me to bring my A game every time we're doing the Dirty Jokes and Magic Trick show. like this New Year's Eve in Valentine, Minnesota at the community center, sponsored by Kirkpatrick's Pub and Grill. Get your tickets now. Along those lines, D. Lynn Bennett, the same thing, man. Blind Not Stupid, D. Lynn Bennett. Josh Shelton. I did a show last April 20th with Josh Shelton where he helped organize a show in Des Moines where we could both record our comedy CDs, and I got my stuff laid down. Fucking sounds great. It's going to be called The Bar Comic, and I'll give you guys some information on that soon. So big shout out to Josh Shelton, Nathan Tricky Allen, D. Lynn Bennett, Daryl Beanbag Moon. There's another dude that always forces me to bring my A game when we work together. We do a show. It's a game show, and he does like an old school type of game show host, like kind of a creepy, pervy kind of guy, Bink Winkleton, and it is fucking hilarious. It's kind of like doing like a sort of like a combination of Anchorman and who is the guy that hosted Family Feud, Richard Dawson. It's like Anchorman meets Richard Dawson from Family Feud. It's fucking hilarious, and it's all improv. We bring up the audience, and he does a series of questions, and they have to match answers. It's called the Screwlywed Game. It's basically a rated R version of the Newlywed Game. But whenever I work with Daryl, forces me to bring my A game because that cat's motherfucking funny and talented, and we always have to do new material off the top of our head, so shit's always fresh. And that's when I like doing comedy the best, when you keep it fresh, keep it exciting. You don't know what the fuck is about to happen, and it's unpredictable. That's what I like it the best. I don't necessarily like doing the same polished routine night after night after night after night. Yes, I know the jokes will work, and that's a double-edged sword, because on one hand, the fucking jokes will work, so you're gonna crush it. On the other hand, you said this shit 1,000 fucking times, and my favorite thing to do is come up with material on the fly, and then like, oh shit, that was a good one. It feels so much better when you do that than saying a joke that you've said 1,000 fucking times. It gets to laugh. Probably spoiling some of the magic right now, but like I said earlier, welcome to the unfunny side of comedy. Drinking a vodka cranberry right now for a Wednesday hump day happy hour, 4:20 p.m., 420 report, daily live video blog that I do every day at 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. And so hit the like button, hit the share button, give me some comments and questions. I know I got a lot of different people joining in. This is going a little bit longer than usual as I'm nursing this really fucking strong cocktail. And now I'm starting to get a little bit drunker and less filtered. So I'm just giving some shout outs to some of the people who helped make a difference for me in 2017. Of course, my beautiful wife, Hot Karen, Crazy Karen, Mrs. Jer-dog. Without her, none of this is fucking possible. Without her, like, wrangling up the kids right now because she knows that I'm going to come down here and talk shit into a laptop and get drunk at the same time. And somehow, when I was 19 years old, no, how old was I? 20, 22, 22, 23, 22 or 23 years old, 22 years old, 1997. Somehow, when I was 22 years old, I had the fucking intelligence and foresight to know that this is a good woman. This is the fucking person I need to spend the rest of my life with, because someday when I'm 42 years old, I'm going to be talking shit into a laptop video camera for a Facebook audience when there hasn't even been Facebook invented yet. This is the woman who's going to support that shit. She is so goddamn dynamite as a comedian's wife. I can't even fucking believe it, how supportive she is. Every fucking weekend I'm gone. Every week, 100 nights a year, 150 nights a year, I've been gone on the road, traveling around the country. There were times that we were broke as a fucking joke. And there's still sometimes that it's a little bit of a struggle. Yet she's right there. She's always got my back. That said, it's not perfect. It's not fucking perfect. We have our fucking arguments, and when we argue, it's like fucking animals, like, fuck you, no, fuck you, but it's few and far between, you know what I mean? And that's just what marriage is. Even when you fucking argue like animals, you're still like, okay, I got your back. I got your back. And at the end of the day, I know she's got my back. I got her back. So big shout out. Of course, I cannot leave out my beautiful wife, Crazy Karen, Hot Karen, Mrs. Jer-dog, as some of you know her. She comes to a lot of my shows now, and, a couple times a year at least. But, I couldn't do it without her. I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. How did I know that that would be the woman for me? Well, I'll tell you, the first time we met, I was on spring break with some of my friends. We went to Chicago, and we just wound up at the same party together. This is kind of another story for another time, but I'll just give you the headline. As soon as I walked in the door of this party, I saw a fucking athletically built, tall brunette standing on a bed going bottoms up on a bottle of vodka, and I'm like, that's the woman for me. And it took me like a year. It took me a year of persistence to actually make that shit happen. But I'm fucking glad I put in that year of persistence, because it's been how long? It's over 20 years now. 20 years of fucking awesomeness. So big shout out to Mrs. Jer-dog, Crazy Karen, Hot Karen, Karen Danley. Anyway, how much of this do I have left? Should I do another one? Where am I at my time? God damn it. Half an hour already. I can't even see any more comments that have come up. Who else do I want to give a shout out to? Oh my God, how could I forget? Lou Deck! Lou Deck! This cat goes way back, man. This is an old school pro of comedy, a veteran of the stage like I've never met before. He has so much wisdom and insight dating back to the 70s when stand-up comedy first sort of caught fire nationwide. They started opening up clubs all over the place, and this guy was one of the original doormen at the Comedy Store, from what I understand, and has worked with all the greats. And I can only imagine the type of wisdom and insight he has harvested just through osmosis by working with guys like fucking Richard Pryor, who else but Sam Kinison. Lou Deck he's got a movie that just came out that's all about Sam Kinison, and he's a part of. So big shout out to Lou Deck. He's a regular viewer of the 420 Report. Lou, if you're watching right now, I don't know. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Either way, it's cool. But just give me a shout out. Hit me with like a like button, or give me a comment or something, because I'd love to engage with you just for a little bit. And I definitely want to have this guy in for an interview sometime on the 420 Report. Bring him up on a phone call and patch that in through the video feed here, because we could get a lot of cool perspective from a guy who's known them. This is one guy that's been around ever since stand-up comedy inception as a big-time national mainstream type of entertainment. There's always been comedians, but it was in like the late 60s, early 70s when it started to become a little bit more uncensored, thanks to guys like Lenny Bruce, thanks to a lot of performers that would go to this coffee shop that was called The Improvisation that Bud Friedman had created back, I want to say late 60s. I don't fucking know the dates. I'm not that good with this shit. But the basic story is that the Improv was created as a place for performers to go to after they're done with their shit on Broadway, a place for the beatniks to roll in and do their thing, do their poetry, do their jamming out. It's like an open mic kind of thing, and a lot of stand-up comedians started showing up and perfecting their craft. And then eventually it just became a full-time comedy club, and then eventually became a chain all over the country. And then a lot of other places started duplicating the formula. And there was a gal named Mitzi Shore that opened up the Comedy Store in Los Angeles about, a few years after that. And then stand-up comedy became like a thing. Like people started tuning in, right? Like it became a huge fucking deal, like a huge fucking thing. I got in the early 90s, though. 10, 15 years, almost 20 years after all that shit took place, the quote-unquote golden years of comedy, the fucking bottom fell out, and there was no real stage time for anybody. Comedy clubs are closing left and right. Lou Deck was there through it all. He continues to be there to this day. He's a regular viewer of the 420 Report. And a lot of times after I do one of these editions, after I throw down one of these live video blogs, he'll send me a direct message with some tips and some hints and some some tricks and some advice. it's always on the mark. So just big shout out to my connection with Lou Deck. Never actually met the dude in person, but would love to sit down and fucking have a few drinks with him, maybe smoke a fatty. If I ever roll into LA, definitely got to do that again. Or if I ever roll into LA again, we definitely got to do that, Lou. Holy shit. I don't know if I should have another one of these or cut myself off right now. I'm having a good time, kind of having a good time, just sitting here drinking by myself in my fucking basement man cave talking to you. I don't even know if anybody still I don't even know if anybody's still watching anymore. If you are, though, hit the share button, hit the like button, hit the follow button. Spread the word that I'm going to be in Altura, Minnesota this Friday night, December 29th, working with world-famous Uncle Larry Reeve at Pooter Sports Bar and Grill. This Saturday night, I'll be in Palmyra, Nebraska at the Palmyra Pub doing my one-man show, a little warm-up set for going into New Year's Eve where I really want to fucking bring the goods. Nathan Tricky Allen, Dirty Jokes and Magic Trick Show at the Community Center in Balaton, Minnesota, sponsored by Kirkpatrick's Pub and Grill. It's going to be a good time. So I can't even see the comments anymore because there have been a lot of them. Oh, I just got to scroll down a little bit. John Chambers, make yourself another cocktail. All right, why not? Fuck it, man. Maybe we'll do the longest 420 report yet. This is a good way to wrap things up. The final hump day happy hour for 2017. I'm going to go about half and half this time. I don't know what I did last time, but whatever it was about the perfect combination. Nathan Tricky Allen, do another pussy I am. What are you drinking, dude? What do you got going? My only fear right now, though, is I'm going to drink up the rest of my wife's Power of the 7 organic juice blend, which she gets from Trader Joe's. So you can see, all the healthy ingredients on there. And that's going to piss her off because she likes these vodka cocktails way more than I do. The only reason I'm drinking this shit is because it's fucking cold out and I don't want to go get something else. I got stuff for White Russians upstairs, but I've had enough of those lately. Whew, and that'll kick my ass. It's those White Russians that made me fucking throw up in that cabin at Dan and Mel's Lodge last summer, which is one of my stupidest moments of 2017 because they fucking treated me right. That was a great fucking place to do stand-up comedy. They gave me this kick-ass cabin to stay in afterwards, and I just didn't realize the effect that 12 White Russians would have on me. But in the middle of the night, Katrina, you're probably not watching anymore because you got better shit to do. You got kids and a fucking whole family life that you got to deal with. God bless you for that. Still going on the road, traveling the country, putting up with my bullshit, all these shows. But, she was there. She was in the next room over in the cabin. I swear you had to fucking heard me projectile vomiting at 3 o'clock in the morning. Because when I throw up from drinking, I don't just do it quietly and discreet and all stealthy like. I sound like a fucking ghost from Scooby-Doo. I'm like, and that goes on for 30 minutes. At least it feels like 30 minutes. It's probably 3 minutes, but it feels like fucking 30 minutes. Hey, cheers. Who else do I want to give a shout out to? 2 more people on my shout outs list. Then we're going to wrap this motherfucker up. And I think this will be the longest episode of the 420 report to date. But I want to give a big shout out to my friend from Michigan City, Indiana, my new tax advisor, which apparently I'm going to need because this crazy tax bill that's coming out, which I don't even pay attention to that shit. Truth be told, I get on Facebook and I see all this fucking garbage up and down about what side of the political spectrum someone's on. I'm a Democrat. I'm a Republican. This guy can go fuck himself. How stupid are these people? I'm conservative. Shut the fuck up. Nobody really knows what they are. You know what I mean? You just know the people you like. People mostly follow politics the way they follow sports teams. They just follow the team their fucking dad followed or they were born into. They're like, oh, my parents are Republican. I'll be a Republican. It's like they just go along with whatever they think is trendy or cool. Most people don't know fucking shit about politics. I admit it. I don't know shit about politics. I don't fucking talk about politics on a Facebook video. And the other thing, sometimes I'll say like, oh, well, this side has some good ideas. This other side also has some good ideas. That's the worst fucking position you can take. You got to take one. Oh, shit. If you say Hillary's got some good ideas, you say the Democrats have good ideas. Oh, the Republicans hate you. If you say the Republicans have good ideas and Trump might say, that was something smart that he did say. That was something smart that Trump did do. Oh, then all the fucking anti-Trump people hate your fucking guts. You can't fucking win. I steer clear of all of that shit, other than maybe reference points. If it's a reference point that fits into a joke that I'm already doing, but I don't know anything about fucking politics or how to make this shit work. I don't know jack shit about taxes. All I know how to do is monetize talking shit to alcoholics at nightclubs, taverns, neighborhood bars. That's all I fucking know. That's the only skill I've learned how to do is monetize talking shit to alcoholics. That's all I can do. That's what I'm doing right here, right now. Hey, cheers. I stay away from the political shit. But apparently, we got this crazy tax bill coming down. It's going to fuck everybody up. And thank God that I've got a new kick-ass tax advisor all the way from Michigan City, Indiana, Bob LaFata. This dude is so fucking cool. Not only did he help me out with some shit that I had going down, because I'm technically, it's a stand-up comic, like people don't want to hear about the business shit all the time. But, it's something that I did back in the day because I was audited. When you do stand-up comedy, it's a cash fucking business. You know what I mean? You don't get a W-2 for this. You got to figure this out on your own. You're what's known as a sole proprietor, an independent contractor. So it's very important to learn bookkeeping skills. It's very important to learn some shit about taxes and how all that works. And I'll tell you why. Because in 2005, 2006, I think it was, I was audited. I had no verifiable income. I'm just writing down on a fucking what is it called? A 1099? What is it? No, that's what I got as an independent contractor. See, I don't know any of this stuff. This is why I need a tax advisor like Bob LaFata helping me out, because I fuck it up. I try to do the appropriate paperwork. I try to be honest. I'm not one of these guys that trying to get out of, he paid me in cash, therefore I don't have to report it. No, I fucking report anything. Hey, call me an idiot if you want. I report every fucking dime I make. Okay? I report it all. Why? Because I want to get a goddamn mortgage someday. Because I might need to go in for a car loan. Because I might need to get some a credit line in some way, shape, or form. And you have to have verifiable income. It's just a smart move. People are like, it's cash under the table. You don't have to report that shit. No. When you're a cash-only business, if you don't report it, guess what? You look like a homeless fucker. Nobody's going to give a homeless fucker a car loan. Nobody's going to get a homeless fucker a broke joke, a fucking mortgage. So when you're in a cash-only business like stand-up comedy, you got to report that shit. I got audited for 2 years in a row, 2005, 2006. And dude, you got to incorporate. You got to actually get a legit business happening here. So that's what I did. And, it's fucking complicated. It's way over my head. I don't understand very much about it. I only understand it to the point where I know the shit that I need to do for the type of business, run around, like I said, telling dick jokes to alcoholics and getting paid for it. Right? So I fuck up a lot of stuff. And that's why it's important for me to have a tax advisor, Bob LaFata from Michigan City, Indiana, who not only helped me out with some shit that I fucked up going into last year, like trying to move my corporation from Illinois to Nevada. We'll talk about that later on in a future Facebook Live video, what those plans are. But I fucked some shit up, man, because I'm going to do that, because that's what I am. I'm a big fuck up. One of the stupidest things I did was screw up my tax shit, my incorporation status in Illinois a few years ago, and I've had to recover from it. You know what I mean? Well, whatever. It's part of business. This dude helped me out. Not only did he help me out with all of that, but about a month ago, the first weekend of December, I'm driving down from Saugatuck, Michigan, where I was staying at Jerry Donovan's comedy comedy condo from doing a weekend up there at Jerry Donovan gigs. Another shout out and thank you. What a great connection. Another great connection I made in 2017. I was working with Michigan promoter Jerry Donovan. He knows his shit. Any comedians out there right now, any venues out there right now, Jerry Donovan is a dude you need to know. But I'm driving down from one of his gigs from Michigan, and my van is overheating. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I had already called up Bob from, I knew I was going to be traveling through that weekend. Said, hey, let's get together for some lunch when I'm driving through on Sunday, and we can go over this stuff that you're helping me out with and some of the paperwork, blah, blah, blah. He's like, absolutely. I'd love to meet you for some lunch, have a couple of drinks. And I told him, I was like, well, I'm going to be late because my van is overheating. He's like, really? What's wrong with it? So I get down there. This fucking guy fixes me all up. He does all the troubleshooting, all the mechanical shit that I don't know anything about, which frankly I should. I've only had like 7 fucking cars break down on me when I'm in the middle of nowhere traveling around the country. I put 1,000 miles a week on average on my fucking vehicles. They break down all the time. That's one of the biggest expenses I have as a traveling comedian. There's just car repairs, let alone just the stress of not knowing what to do or who to contact when you are stranded in the middle of the fucking road. So it was fucking awesome to have a guy like Bob LaFata, who is just a few hours south of where I was going, say, listen, man, not only I'm going to help you out with your tag shit and get that stuff squared away, but I'm going to make sure you get home safely tonight by fixing your fucking van for you. And don't worry about it. Just hang out with me for a little bit. Good conversation. That's all he wanted. And Bob, if you're watching this, I don't know if you are. If you're not, I'm going to scroll down a little bit, see if anybody else has joined in. Missy Carson receipts. Yeah, no shit. No shit. Here, let me show you my fucking receipts. Here's my fucking receipts. Here's how I do my taxes. Here's my bookkeeping. Here's all my paperwork, all my fucking receipts. I just throw in this box, and at the end of the year, I make my wife and kid organize all that shit, put it on a spreadsheet, and then I send it over to either, a tax advisor, or I get one of those fucking software things where you just plug in the numbers and it does it all for you. God, I don't know jack shit about taxes. I'm just trying to do the best I can, man. I'm willing to pay them whatever it is I owe. I just don't want to pay more than I owe. So big shout out to Bob LaFata, my new tax advisor. And while I'm at it, while I'm finishing up, I barely fucking started it. Oh, that one's strong. Shit. I don't want to use up any more of my wife's cranberry juice. There's like maybe one more glass left in there. She's going to be pissed because my 13-year-old drinks this stuff too. Not with the vodka, of course. And he's actually 14 now. 47 minutes in. I'm on my second fucking cocktail. I'm already drunk. I can't remember my kid's age. I better wrap this up. Fuck yeah, shots. Chad Boyle's joined in. What's up, Chad? Good to see you, man. I didn't see you last Sunday when I was at the Whiskey House there in Ankeny. That was a fun little set, man. There weren't very many people in the crowd, but I just went complete improv about 30 minutes in, and we wound up doing a new bit that I'm going to work into the show. This is why I love improv. There's a new bit that I came up with when I was at the Whiskey House. A couple of people who I know sometimes watch the 420 Report. They're not today because the Iowa game's on. But they were in the front row, and this dude made some fucking, the hand jack off motion. He said something. I was like, what did you say? And anyway, we came up with the idea of having the fucking a jizz off. That's what I think. He goes, we'll have a jizz off. So now it's just like you just stand up there. It came new comedy bit. I'm going to call it the jizz off. It's basically like air guitar, but with the penis. Woo! That motherfucker is strong. I got about 3 viewers, or so it says on the little eye thing up here, although I don't know how accurate that is, because a lot of times it'll tell me that I've got like 10 viewers, and then I click off, there's like 100. So I don't know if it's just those are the people that follow me. I don't know what any of these fucking things mean. I'm just up here doing it for fun, talking shit, spilling cocktail all over the place. But my final shout out for 2017 is a guy named Jerry Donovan, Michigan comedian and promoter. Number one, I love doing comedy shows in Michigan. I love going to Michigan. Michigan is a beautiful state. It's just kind of up there in the middle of nowhere, just sort of sticks up there like a thumb. In fact, they even do that, you know, we all know that, where they do that to tell you where they live. Well, I live here, I live there, this is where I live, right? You go up to the UP, that's a whole other story. You travel to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Number one, you got to cross a bridge that goes 5 miles long over either Lake Michigan or Lake, whatever that other one is up there. It's a 5 mile fucking bridge, and it costs you like $5 just to drive over. They charge you $5 just to drive over the fucking bridge to get into they charge you $5 to get into the UP. To get into the UP, it costs you $5. Waste of fucking money. Okay, you go to the Michigan UP, that's like driving so far north, you wind up in the south. Okay, the lower part of Michigan, the actual part that looks like a mitten, that's the part of Michigan that I love. All right, I love going there. My comedy just fits in really well there. I don't know, it's just something with the culture there that I fit in well with. I could do without the wintertime bullshit. You know, if it was like Michigan was that same culture and vibe was somehow further south of the equator where it was warm warm most of the year, then I'd fucking go there. That's probably where I would live. Anyway, love working with Jerry Donovan. Jerry Donovan, Michigan comedian, great at fucking crowd work. I've never seen somebody better at crowd work than Jerry Donovan. Willie Farrell is pretty fucking good. I've seen of other couple of comedians that are really fucking good at crowd work, not to mention the mighty jer-dog, but Jerry Donovan, really fucking good at crowd work, which I think is an important skill to have, especially if you're going to be hosting shows, which he mostly does in his neck of the woods there, where he's promoting and hosting. Big shout out and thank you to Jerry Donovan. He's a fucking cool cat. And if you're a comedian watching right now, if you know one of my 3 people right now watching is a comedian, you got to get to know Jerry Donovan. All right. What else, man? That's about it. Wrap this motherfucker up. Anybody got any more questions or comments? Nope, you're going for the long haul now. You're doing 70 minutes. Fuck you, Nathan Allen. I'll see you this Sunday, New Year's Eve, in Balaton, Minnesota, at the community center for our show, sponsored by the Kirkpatrick's Pub and Grill. I'll see you do 70 minutes. How about that, fucker? How about you do 70 minutes for the live audience? Nathan's be like, oh, I can't do 70 minutes because I've only got enough music and sound effects programmed for 55 minutes. All right, let's say you do 70 minutes for a live show, let alone me do 70 minutes for a fucking camera on a computer for 3 fucking people. But I'm just talking shit now, whatever. Everybody knows that Nathan knows I'm fucking with him, if he's still even watching. Anybody else joining in? That's like paying to get into Waukon, Iowa. True that. Stephen Westerfield, what's up, man? Stephen Westerfield, this is a new cat. Hey, dude, you made a big impact on me, actually. I didn't put you on the list. I did not put you on the list. I apologize for that. I probably should have. But Stephen Westerfield, this is a cat that made a big impact on me as well in 2017. I just met him this year. It's like last April or May, and we were planning a Father's Day weekend comedy show, the Dirty Jokes and Magic Trick Show with Nathan Tricky Allen, where we were raising money for single dads. That's what the charity was for, single dads. This fucking guy, he puts his money where his mouth is, okay? He just doesn't talk the talk. He walks the walk. This fucking guy believes so much in what he believes. He believes so much in his cause supporting single dads, fathers' rights, that he fucking walks the walk. Motherfucker ran for Illinois, is it Senate? Illinois Senate, Illinois State, anyway, fucking put himself in there. Shit needs to be done. Shit needs to be changed. He's not just some guy that sits at the bar or gets on Facebook and spouts off his opinion. He actually went out there and ran for political office. He actually put himself out there to be judged, criticized, critiqued, made shit of, torn down, humiliated possibly. Because when it comes to politics, they don't fuck around. They do not fuck around. If you're going to put yourself out there and actually run for political office, they will look for in every nook and cranny they can fucking find to take you down. And this fucking guy put himself out there, is like, so be it. Ran for political office. It's something that I would love to do, but the only problem is eventually when I'm ready for that shit, people are going to be able to pull up videos like this, seeing me getting drunk, talking shit, saying stupid shit, be like, well, this is what Jeremy Danley believes in, and then run that like it's my fucking entire political platform, when there's really the only thing that I would ever run on. If I were a politician, it doesn't matter whether I'm running for mayor, state legislature, Senate, president, fucking dog catcher. There's only one fucking issue that I'm going to run on. And if you're smart enough, I don't even have to say it right now. You probably already know what it is. I give you a clue. It's in the title of this video. So, shout out to Stephen Westerfield right there, brother, man. If you're still joining, leave me a comment. Let me know how everything's going with you, brother, because I don't always agree with everything you post on Facebook. I don't always agree with all of your politics. I agree with a lot of them, but not all of them. But I admire what you do big time, because you put your shit out there. You made yourself a candidate for political office where you expose yourself. They're going to search high and low for whatever dirt they can find on you. You're like, bring it on, motherfucker. Signing up petitions, doing what it takes to round up the people. Running a political campaign and getting people to vote for you is a lot like doing stand-up comedy and getting people to come to your shows. It's very similar in a lot of ways. You want to make an emotional connection. You want to get people so interested, so enthusiastic, where you're pulling on their emotional hot buttons in order to get them to take action. And as a stand-up comedian, the only action that I'm asking people to take is to buy a ticket, buy some drinks, sit in the audience, laugh your fucking ass off. Like you'll be doing this Friday night at Pooter's Bar and Grill in Altura, Minnesota, when I open up for world-famous Uncle Larry Reed. And then this Saturday, I go to Palmyra, Nebraska, the Palmyra Pub, doing my one-man show, which is going to be a warm-up, doing a lot of new material, shit that I'm working off, shit that I'm working off, like the jizz off. I'm going to be doing the jizz off this weekend in Palmyra, Nebraska, at the Palmyra Pub. Just get in contact with Jerry or Sue out there. They will treat you right. And then this Sunday night, New Year's Eve, I'll be working with Nathan Tricky Allen in the Dirty Jokes and Magic Trick Show at the Community Center, selling out 200 tickets, sponsored by Kirkpatrick's Pub and Grill. It's going to be a great fucking time. I've still got 2 minutes left to go in order to make this a 1 hour 420 report live video blog. I appreciate you guys being here each and every day that I do this at 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. Because without you, my dream, it wouldn't be possible. And quite frankly, this isn't even my dream anyway, to be a stand-up comedian. My dream was shattered years ago. I wanted to be a professional wrestling manager. I wanted to be the guy that leads The Undertaker out to the ring talking shit on a microphone. If I'd had my dream come true, I'd be starring on Monday Night Raw as probably a guy that, like Bobby the Brain Heenan, the Battle Royal takes place at the end of the night. I hide underneath the fucking ring apron, and when the last guy is up there who thinks he's won, I sneak out from beneath the bottom rope, fucking push his ass over, and I get the motherfucking trophy as the bad guy, heel, sneaky, wheeler, dealer, professional wrestling, bad guy manager. That was my dream. That was my dream. What happened? What happened to that dream? Oh, that's right. Stand-up comedy happened. Wouldn't be able to do that without you guys. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow at 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. In the meantime, God bless America.